Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name's Ed. I live in Illinois, and I just started this YouTube channel. This is actually my first video on the channel. The channel's called Car Insurance Guy, and I'm pretty much just going to use this first video to tell you the story of what happened to me on January 1st. It is now January 5th, so 4 days ago. So basically what happened is I was sitting at home. It was evening, maybe around 6:30, and I decided I had a sweet tooth and I'm going to run to the store and get some snacks for me and my family and just come back, quick trip to the store, come right back. So get in my car, start driving to the store, and probably about 2 miles away from my house, I'm stopped at a red light and I hear a car accident. I hear the cars hit, and a split second after that, one of the cars from the accident flew into my car. And I drive, it was pretty much a new truck. So I drive a 2023 Toyota Tacoma, and when I bought it, it was new. Never had anything wrong with it. I've taken my truck to the shop for 3 oil changes, and that is the lifetime of my vehicle. That is the all of the shop visits my vehicle has ever had. So one of the cars hits my truck, and now I'm involved in a car accident, and I know I'm not the at-fault driver because I was stopped at a red light. So the police get there, everybody gets out of their car, we're talking, we find out that the at-fault driver does not have insurance. So he is the cause of the accident. He hit the first car. It was his fault. He sent the second car into my truck. All of this is driver number one's fault, but he does not have insurance. And while I'm standing on the scene of the accident, I've never been through this before. I don't know how this all works when the person doesn't have insurance. But I would assume that since he doesn't have insurance, what's up, dude? Alright, so like I was saying, I assumed while I'm at the scene of the accident, I'd never been through this before, never been hit by a driver that didn't have insurance. So I assume that since he didn't have insurance, like he has to make that problem right. Because I think it's a law that you have to have insurance. So first of all, him driving his car without insurance, I'm pretty sure he's breaking the law right there. But then you cause damage to somebody's property. You don't have an insurance company that you paid to help you with this problem. So that's your problem. Now you have to deal with that on your own. That's how I thought it worked. And come to find out, after talking to my insurance company and attorneys and the police and pretty much everybody I can talk to, and also people who have been through this before, I find out that usually, pretty much always, the way this works is the person who does have insurance, even though they're not the at-fault driver, not the one who caused the accident, the person who does have insurance is the one who gets screwed, because they have to file a claim with their own insurance company, and their insurance company has to pay to make all of this right, even though you're not the at-fault driver. So pretty much, like I've learned, I had to file a claim with my insurance, which is pretty normal. I have to pay my deductible. My rates are going to go up, and I have to pay that higher fee. I had to pay out of pocket for my rental car, and the only way I could ever get my money back is if I go after this person who was the at-fault driver. I have to sue them. And so I've talked to attorneys about that because I don't want to pay for this guy's accident. I'm not responsible for his terrible choice to drive without insurance. He's responsible for that. I've spoken to attorneys, and everybody says that if this guy is broke and I choose to go after him, the ruling would be that he doesn't have the money to pay for this mistake, and I would end up paying the court fees, and I wouldn't win any money through the lawsuit to reimburse me for what I've lost. So, what does that mean? That means that this guy's the at-fault driver, caused the accident, he is the cause of the property damage, he is breaking the law by driving without insurance, and I am a law-abiding citizen. I did not cause the accident, and I have insurance. And I am the one financially who gets screwed here. That guy got a ticket from the police department, and he got to go home that night. And think about that. The police department, I appreciate them doing their job, but they wrote the guy a ticket. He's going to have to go pay whatever that ticket is to the city where the accident happened. I get none of that money. I am one of the victims of this crime. He damaged my property. He did not damage the city's property. He damaged my property. And he has to pay money to the city. None of that money comes back to me. I'm just left paying. I foot the bill for this guy's crime. And that's absolutely wrong. And I never knew that that's how it worked out. Because in my mind, if you think about it, what is the reason that everybody has insurance? Why do we pay for insurance? I'll tell you why. It's if you cause damage to somebody's property, whether it's their vehicle, their property, their body, whatever it may be, if you cause damage and you are the at-fault person, you have an insurance company that you have hired to help you solve that problem, to help you remedy that problem and put the people back right and put yourself back right. That is why we pay insurance companies to do what they do. So, if you take that a step further and you have a person who chose to not get insurance, guess what? That means that person assumes the role of the insurance company that they should have hired. So first of all, you shouldn't have been on the road. You don't have insurance. You're breaking the law just driving your car before you ever hit anybody. Then you hit somebody, cause damage to somebody else's property. It's your fault. Hey, buddy, your problem. You caused that damage. You have to make it right. The victim of that crime should never be the person paying to have that problem fixed. And the only way I could ever get my money back that I've lost is to sue this guy. And everybody has told me, don't do that because he's broke and you're going to end up paying all the court costs and he's going to go free. He'll be free to go buy the next beater, crash into somebody and do this all over again. And he's just free to be a criminal and I have to pay for it. And I don't think that's right. But then, and I know a lot of people have been through this before. A lot of people have been screwed by this situation before. One of the attorneys that I spoke to on the phone told me that he just went through this same situation. And in my mind, I'm hearing it saying, how the hell did you allow this to happen? Because in my mind, there is no acceptable reality where I have to pay for some other person's mistakes. And then, so like, I have another point too. Let's think about if this guy just showed up at my house with a sledgehammer, bashed my truck up, and the police caught him. He would be arrested for that. He'd be taken to jail. He would have to go to court. And part of his sentencing, when they do that, would be to pay me restitution. So if he came to my house with a sledgehammer, damaged my property, and got caught, he would be arrested and he'd be responsible for paying me back. Because he did it with a car instead of a sledgehammer, I guess he just gets to go home and go free. He just gets to throw his hands up and say, I'm broke, so therefore you pay for my mistake. And I'm just going to go do it to the next person. I'm going to go get another beater, crash into somebody, and make them deal with the problem because I'm broke. Oh, poor me, boo-hoo. I mean, if all of us knew that we could get in our car, bash it into somebody else's car, and go home and make them pay for it, nobody would buy insurance. The whole point of paying for insurance is so if you damage somebody's property, it can get fixed by the person who's at fault. Make it make sense. There is no acceptable reality where I'm going to pay for this guy because he chose to drive a car without insurance. And that's a whole other thing. Think so that people want to say the fact that it was a car accident, oh, it was an accident, he didn't mean to do it, therefore he shouldn't really be held super accountable and pay for his mistake. Nah, I don't accept that. Because getting into a car accident, hitting a car with your car is an accident. Driving your car without insurance is not an accident. It's never an accident. It's a bad decision. It's a bad decision to break the law. And you should be held accountable when you get caught doing that. And it blows my mind that this guy drove his car with no insurance, hit 2 different people's cars, damaged their property, police show up on the scene, the guy says, I don't have insurance, and I mean, I would think immediately, you probably go to jail. You damage somebody's property and you can't fix it or replace it. So what does that mean? That means the victim of this crime either has to go without the thing that you took away from them, or they have to do the work to acquire it all over again. And in my specific case, I drove a 2023 truck. I bought it brand new. You don't think I worked my butt off to get that truck? You don't think it took me years of hard work and saving money and doing side jobs and not spending it on certain things, not going out to dinner because I had a goal of buying myself a new truck? I went through all of that. That guy who took my truck away from me was not at work with me all those years and all those side jobs, stacking up money, helping me acquire that truck. Never. All he did was broke the law, showed up, and in 2 seconds took my brand new truck away from me. And now I will never get it back. The truck that he took away from me was brand new, never had anything wrong with it. The truck I'm going to get back is rebuilt and has a lot of things wrong with it. That's not what I worked my butt off to reward myself with. I worked my butt off to have a brand new vehicle that would be super dependable because there's nothing wrong with it. I bought a vehicle that was so dependable that I planned in the future to give that to my oldest son when he turns 16. That ain't happening. I'm getting screwed here. I rewarded my hard work with a new truck, and some stranger decided to break the law and take it away from me. And attorneys and police and insurance companies all give me the attitude like I should be happy to pay for this guy's crime because I'm going to get my truck fixed and I'll get it back. I'm not happy to pay for this guy's crime. I don't wake up in the morning and leave my family to go to work to pay for some dumbass's crime. If the only crimes I'll pay for are mine, and I'm not out committing crime, so I don't have to pay for crime. I am not responsible for a criminal's decision to break the law. I cannot stop a criminal from breaking the law. They do it all on their own. Nobody came and asked me first. This is bull. I never swore an oath to be responsible for this guy's poor decisions to break the law. I never did that. So, think about it with common sense. If somebody's driving without insurance, they have told themselves, I don't need the help of an insurance company when I crash into somebody. I'll handle that problem on my own. Which means you better get to work, dude. I don't care if you have to give me a portion of your income for the next 5 years. Your fault, not mine. You know, if I bash my car into somebody else's car and it's my fault, I will do what I need to do to make it right. When you bash your car into mine and damage my property that took me years to acquire, you're on the line. You got to make that right. And the fact that you didn't have an insurance company, your poor decision, not mine. You make that right, however you got to do it. Even if the answer is you can't pay me and you have to go to jail. I'm cool with that. If you damage my property and you have no means to fix it or repair it, you go to jail. I'm cool with that. I'd be fine. And I'd be mad because I will never have my new truck again. But I'd be okay with that because you're getting what you deserve. We can't allow the system to be the criminals get over on the law-abiding citizens and the law-abiding citizens will pay for it. That should never be the reality. And I'm really ashamed, I appreciate the police, I appreciate the law, I appreciate all of it, and I'm thankful to have it. But how the hell does a police officer pull up on a scene of an accident, the guy doesn't have insurance, has no way to fix the damages that he's done, and they say, oh, that's okay, the guy who did nothing wrong will pay for it? Never. Not okay. And now that I'm in that seat, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I have been on my phone ever since this accident happened with the newspapers for where I live, every news station you can imagine. I've spoke to Fox News, ABC News, NBC News, CBS News, Eyewitness News, every damn news there is. I've talked to all of them because I'm not the type of guy to have a crime happen to me. I'm the victim and I'm going to pay out of my pocket for this criminal's decision. Never. Never. That's why we buy insurance, so that doesn't happen to us. If you fail to buy insurance, that's what happens to you. If you fail to buy insurance, you assume the role of the insurance company that you should have hired. That's how that should work. And I don't know when the world became so goofy that you think somebody can hit me, it's their fault, they don't have insurance, and I'm going to pay for that? Never. Never. I will take this as far as it can go. I'm talking to all the news people to get this story out. I started a YouTube channel because, I'm doing everything I can do in my power to get this out so people know this is a complete injustice. And the law allows this injustice to happen over and over and over again. And this happens every day. When I went to get my rental car, the guy at Enterprise said, I just had somebody in here that had the same thing. I hear this story pretty much every day. That's wrong. Do something about it. If this problem is affecting the wrong person, the law-abiding citizen, that often, do something about it. So that is the goal of my YouTube channel. I'm not here to whine. Even I just did a whole rant of complaining, but that's not the point of this. The point of this, I wanted to point out how wrong it is. This is what happens. I don't agree with it at all. And I want to just bring attention to this every way possible. And my ultimate goal is to get the law changed. Because a criminal should never be able to bash their vehicle into somebody who abides by the law. And that law-abiding citizen has to pay and feel the brunt of this criminal's decision to break the law. Never. That doesn't happen. That's wrong. That's not justice. That's not justice served at all. That's me paying to learn somebody else's lesson, and I don't do that. So my whole goal of this YouTube channel and my whole goal of talking to all these news outlets and police and state reps and everybody who I've been talking to is to get the law changed. This is wrong. This allows criminals to go free while the law-abiding citizen foots the bill for the criminal. We don't do that anymore. So what I would like from you guys is, if you've gone through this before, contact me, send me a message, give me a comment, but let's talk. I want to hear how it went for you. If you got screwed and it went pretty much exactly the way I described, you got hit, you were not at fault, the person didn't have insurance, and you ended up paying for it, I want to hear about that. That is completely wrong. I'm not the type of guy to have that happen to me and then I just kind of whine for a little while and then get over it and move on with my life. I'm not going to get over it. I'm not going to move on with my life. I'm going to bring awareness to this, and I'm going to try to get so much attention from this that we can get the laws changed. Because this is a pattern. It's not just car insurance. The world is moving in a direction of the criminals get away with crimes, and the victims are the ones who ultimately suffer for it. We don't do that anymore. So it's time to start sticking the criminals, make them responsible for their crimes, hold them accountable to their crimes. If you choose to drive around with insurance and you hit somebody's car, that is not the victim's fault. That's your fault. You can spend the rest of your life paying for it if that's what it takes. And that's it. I will fight this as far as I can go. I'm going to write a letter to Donald Trump just because I'm not playing. I'm not paying for some criminal to be a criminal. Throw him in jail. Get him out of here. That's my rant for now. As this progresses, as I get into it more with my insurance company and attorneys, and as I find out more information, I'll definitely be doing more videos to keep people in the loop. But the ultimate goal of this is to get the law changed so the law-abiding citizen can stop getting penalized for a criminal's crimes. That's ridiculous. We don't do that anymore. So I would love to hear from you guys. Please leave me a comment and subscribe. Stick around for the ride. I'll keep you posted. But I mean, if I have it my way, you're going to end up seeing my face on the news explaining this whole thing. Podcasters, anything like that. I'm willing to go on any platform that somebody will have me on. And, it's a new day. I'm not gonna let a criminal take advantage of me because I'm a responsible adult. That's not happening. So, yeah, thank you for listening to my story. If you can relate to this in any way, if you've been through it before, if you're an attorney, I would love to talk to you. Anybody who maybe has some information that would help, I would love to hear it. And thank you. There will be more to come. Have a good one. Happy New Year.